U.S. President Joe Biden announced a new goal of cutting U.S. greenhouse gas pollution as he kicked off a virtual global summit on climate change with dozens of other world leaders. VOA's Patsy Widakuswara reports.
As President Joe Biden convened the virtual climate summit of 40 world leaders, he made an ambitious commitment to cut U.S. carbon emissions by 50 to 52% below 2005 levels by 2030. And the hope is that other countries will also go further before the November UN Climate Change Conference in Glasgow.
To protect livelihoods around the world and keep global warming at a maximum of 1.5 degrees Celsius.
Some, including leaders of the European Union, Japan, and Canada, announced new targets, as well as Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. But the world's largest CO2 emitter did not make a new pledge. China's rapid development means achieving carbon neutrality in such a short time frame will be a challenge, said President Xi Jinping. India, the world's third largest emitter, and Russia, the fourth largest, also made no new commitments. Patsy Widakuswara, VOA News.
Funeral services were held Thursday for Dante Wright, a young black man shot during a police stop in suburban Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hundreds of people wearing COVID-19 masks packed into Shiloh Temple International Ministries to remember Wright. Dante's mother, Katie Wright, said her son's death changed her family's life.
When he walked in the room, he lit up the room. He was a brother, a jokester. He was loved by so many. He's going to be so missed.
The emotional funeral was held just 2 days after former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was convicted in the death of George Floyd and amid a national reckoning on racism and policing. The U.S. Senate has passed legislation to combat the rise of hate crimes against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. The measure would expedite the review of hate crimes and provide support for local law enforcement in response to thousands of reported violent incidents in the past year. Hawaii Senator Mazie Hirono said that too many Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are being targeted.
These unprovoked random attacks and incidents are happening in supermarkets, on our streets, in takeout restaurants, basically wherever we are.
The House is expected to consider a similar bill in the coming weeks. Police have noted an uptick in such crimes against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders during the coronavirus pandemic. Officials in Pakistan said Thursday the death toll had risen to at least 5 from an overnight suicide car bombing at a luxury hotel in Quetta, which apparently targeted visiting Chinese diplomats. The powerful explosion ripped through the parking lot of the Serena Hotel, injuring at least 13 people, some of them critically. The outlawed Pakistani Taliban militant group claimed responsibility for the bombing. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Wenbin said at a daily briefing Thursday that Beijing strongly condemns the bombing and extended sympathies to the victims. The Israeli military said Thursday that a Syrian missile that reached deep into Israeli territory and set off air raid sirens near the country's top-secret nuclear reactor was the result of a misfire and not a deliberate attack. The Army's chief spokesman, Brigadier General Hidai Zilberman, was quoted as telling military correspondents the projectile, identified as a Russian-made SA-5 missile, missed its target and then exploded in southern Israel. Liftoff is scheduled for early Friday, and for the first time, NASA is putting its trust in a recycled SpaceX rocket and capsule for the crew. We get more from AP's Ed Donahue.
This will be SpaceX's third launch of astronauts for NASA in less than a year.
We're flying NASA astronauts on a flight-proven Dragon and a flight-proven Falcon.
Benji Reed is with SpaceX. Weather forced a delay. Bob Behnken flew a test flight to the International Space Station last spring. His wife, Macon MacArthur, is on this latest flight.
It's amazing to think that I will be sitting in the same seat that Bob was sitting in when he certified that vehicle the very first time that it launched.
Japan's Ahiko Hoshide is part of the diverse crew.
We have American, French, and Japanese astronauts on board.
They will be on the International Space Station for 6 months. I'm Ed Donahue.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.